debate which Eastern Conference team is better, the 76ers or the Nets.
First off, I'm going to go with the Nets, and I don't even think it's that close, to be honest. I'm just going to name off some guys in their team. You got KD, former MVP, former champion. You got Kyrie Irving, former champion. You got James Harden, also former MVP. All three guys are certified ballers. Plus, you got LaMarcus Aldridge, who they added in buyout, plus Blake Griffin, who they also got added in buyout. This team is loaded, and I don't see how the Sixers can top that.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, they do have two MVPs, Kyrie, a former champion. They also have two other All-Stars in Griffin and Aldridge. I agree. That's a loaded roster. But the problem is with the Nets, I don't think we'll see all five of them on the court at the same time anymore. With Kyrie taking personal days, I don't even know what he's taking off for at this point. Harden is hurt now. KD's coming off an injury. He looks good, but I still think he could re-aggravate it, especially with Irving out right now, and KD's going to have a bigger role in the lineup. I think he could re-aggravate that injury. I think Griffin and Aldridge are almost too old at this point to trust for a full rest of the season. I think one of them is going to get hurt at some point. So I think if you look at that starting five that they have, it's great, but I don't know if we'll see them at the same time on the court.
Well, I think you look at you got Kyrie, Harden, and Durant, KD. They've only played 7 games together this season. If they're still 36-17, only half a game back from the Sixers this season. So even if one or maybe two of them are out, they still have enough firepower. KD, Kyrie, and Harden are all MVP candidates every single year, pretty much. At least in the top 10. Maybe not Kyrie, but definitely KD and Harden. They're always in top 5 every year. So I think even if say like Kyrie or Harden's out, I think KD, he would really propel that team. And I think if one or two of them are hurt, they can still do well.
I think the 76ers are just better this year because I think in the playoffs, the number one thing is defense. The Nets do not play defense whatsoever. They give up the highest points per game in the league. Although they score the highest points per game in the league, they give up almost nearly the same amount of points. So when it comes down to it, if the Nets do not find their shot in the playoffs, their defense can't help them. Like most teams in the playoffs, if they can't find their shot, their defense gets a steal, they get some fast break points, and they get their offense back rolling. But the Nets cannot do that because they don't have a defense.
I think if you look both of the teams, I think that the Nets, they get more offensive firepower than Sixers. I mentioned this once times, but the big three, KD, Kyrie, and Harden. I think that's way better than Joel Embiid. Yes, he's an MVP candidate. He's very good. Better than Simmons and Harris. They've been good, but they're not like big three caliber such as the Nets big three. So I think their offense, even though their defense isn't as well, I think their offense can definitely propel them. And most likely they'll be playing. Well, hopefully we'll be playing in the maybe conference finals. We'll see if they both get the 1-2 seeds. But yeah, I think the Nets have enough offensive firepower, even with their lackluster defense, to take out any team that comes in their way.
I just think with the Nets, I think with injuries, when you look at injuries and you look at their defense, I think there are going to be teams that give them trouble. I know that they have so much firepower and they're a great team. And I'm going to give you that. Their roster is insane. But I think when you don't have a defense like that, it doesn't matter who it is. I mean, the playoffs are a different breed. I mean, it doesn't matter who the team is. They're going to give them troubles if you don't have a defense, especially teams like I think the Heat are going to be sneaky this year. I think teams that are proven in the playoffs are going to exploit that defense. And if you don't have a defense, I think you're really going to get hurt in the playoffs.
I think the one good thing that helps them also in the playoffs, the Nets, is they have a lot of experience. Of course, you got two champions in Kyrie and KD. He's been in playoffs many, many years. So I think it'll be interesting to see if these two match up in the playoffs. They're currently one against each other, and they play tomorrow night, so we'll see. But with that, we'll send it to commercial and we'll be right back.